This movie sucked. It was boring. I didn't have hopes for it, like, at all. But my brother wanted to watch it to see how bad it was. Because even he didn't really care for the trailer. Like, when he has those two guys and Hawkman's like, don't drop them. And he's like, no, you drop one or some stupid shit like that. It's dumb. Not a big fan of this movie. Like, at all. I didn't think Rock could pull off Black Adam. I feel like this movie fine. But literally watch intros. Things that last 10, 15 seconds. In Injustice 2 or in Injustice 1 in the clashes. And you'll have more personality in someone that actually acts like Black Adam. This is just The Rock being a anti-hero, which is nothing new. I've always thought, even when I used to like Rock, I've always thought his acting was never really that good. He usually plays the same character in a movie. Barely tell he's a different character. It's just like, oh, The Rock's in this movie. Usually does not do a very good performance. Yeah. Hawkman was decent, but they remove one of, the big parts about him. The fact that he reincarnates. So he's kind of immortal, but he always is in a new body. He's not really dead. He always comes back to life. He lives through it. He still has same memories. But in this movie, they act like it would be a big deal if he died. Because they need a character that they actually developed, since they didn't really do much with Adam and Cyclone in this movie. So they have to make it so if Hawkman died, it would actually matter. Now they just killed Dr. Fate for like the 50th time in media. It's very hard to kill Dr. Fate. So I just hate when they do it and they don't make it that hard. The villain in this movie was also pretty lame, and he didn't get better when he got his little power up and turned red with this star on his chest. This movie had some legitimately funny moments from anyone that wasn't The Rock. I mean, there were some funny jokes, but they came from The Rock. His delivery wasn't very good. I think almost all the other characters in this movie were better than him, besides the main villain. I did not like the main villain. He sucked. And then they completely forget about Samir in this movie. There's like these 4 people in the beginning of the movie. Samir, the main villain, this girl, and her brother. The brother stays in because he's like claustrophobic or something. No. I don't know. He has a bad ankle. It was something. Samir and the bad guy and the girl go in. Samir gets thrown out. It's never really explained how he got hurt. It feels like the bad guy did it, but he doesn't have superpowers at this point. So how did he get yeeted out of the mountain? And it seems like the bad guy did it, since when the girl asks, hey, where'd Samir go? He's like, oh, he's claustrophobic, so he's gonna leave. So he left. But when they get in the car and they're escaping for their lives, it makes sense at that point that they don't ask about Samir, but they never ask about Samir again. The brother knows he died, but he never has like a one-off line. I'm not a big fan of one-off lines, but I think it would have been fine here because Samir wasn't a huge character. So just him being like, oh yes, Samir died, and then her realizing that he lied to her, but then we wouldn't have the reveal when he kidnaps the son and now she realizes he's evil. It's really the only reason I think that happened. Just not a very good movie. And once there was like 40, 50 minutes left, I was really done with this movie. I didn't care anymore. And then the ending of the movie sets up Black Adam versus Superman because The Rock doesn't care to learn after he's been wanting to play Black Adam for 20 years now. That Superman's not a Black Adam villain. He's fought him a few times, yes. There's even a movie that has Black Adam fight Superman in it. But it's really Shazam who's his big enemy. And he refused to cameo in Shazam 2, reportedly. Which I wouldn't be too surprised. And yeah, he set up fighting Superman at the end of the movie instead of, the main hero that Black Adam fights. I think that's pretty dumb. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this movie. Probably will never watch it again.